Prepare to attack the enemy's control points.
Get behind me, Doctor!
I am fully charged!
You are listening to Control Point, a Team Fortress 2 podcast with Brent Copeland, Eric Fullerton, Wes Wilson, and Spencer Williams.
Control Point, episode 38, recorded on July 4th, 2008.
I'm Brent Copeland.
I'm Wes Wilson.
I'm Eric Fullerton.
Yay, and welcome to Control Point, episode 38.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of a con, Play-on-Con.
We're in the middle of a room.
Do you want to talk about that at all?
Sure. I do a gaming convention down in Birmingham, Alabama, and we decided to do it on July 4th weekend. And we have a bunch of dorks down here and cool folks, and we're all playing games, and we had a cookout today, and we actually each probably got about one burger before it dumped on us.
Oh, man, it was raining.
Yeah, and we've had a good time. We've got all kinds of gamers here, and
oh, check this out, live action Candyland.
Yes, there was
weird.
live action Candyland earlier. Would they make a Candyland board, and then to get past certain things, you have to do like physical challenges. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like Fear Factor Candyland.
This is kind of like the other episodes where we're not in the studio, so you'll hear sounds and creepy things, and maybe
you might see people.
Yes, you're watching
hopefully.
the uStream. Like the security guard just walked through.
Yeah, very creepy stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, we're having a good time. Woohoo! I haven't seen any fireworks yet, but then again, it's still light outside.
I don't think we're going to be setting off any fireworks here in the middle of the city.
We're not?
No.
Man.
They'll probably have them somewhere. City will shoot them off or something. But anyway, so today in the briefcase, we've got, it looks like, new TF2 updates.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We're going to talk about the upcoming heavy unlocks.
Cool.
And a contest held by John Maz.
Sweet!
Oh, good.
So, Eric, how was your week?
My week was good. I'm without my note card, so I'm gonna have to rely on my really crappy memory of trying to remember what I did this week. I know I did some Acarium. I've been working really hard and not really playing video games this week, so that I was able to take some days off and be here. So I'm kind of a loser this week. I didn't really. I've stayed off of Steam so that I could work, because as much as I love chatting with people, if I log into Steam, there'll be a million people trying to say hi to me. So I just stayed off Steam. So I haven't played anything. But I did get a video card from Mintalk.
Yes, I saw that. I saw it in your house.
And it's so cool. He sold it to me for a really good price. That and a really good 8-bit motherboard. So this is a 8800 GTX with 768 megs of RAM. I installed it. This is so dumb. I installed it. I started playing WoW. I turned up all the settings and stuff. Of course, it didn't look any different. I mean, it's about the same. But I did crank up Conan. Sorry to bring up the C word, but cranked up Conan and turned every setting up to max, and it looks great.
I think you did that on purpose.
I did. But I didn't actually play. I actually kind of just walked around and looked at the frame rate and was like, ooh, this is... I approve. Okay, I'm logging off. And then so I haven't tried TF2 with all the settings up right now. With my previous card, I was unable to crank up, the graphics. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, I'd like to try out too with the new card. So
that sounds
very
pretty cool.
Anyway, who wants to go next on their week?
I'll go next. I spent all week getting ready for this convention. I played next to nothing. I did pop on a little bit and play some TF2. And then today I actually had some time, and I got on TF2 from the computer gaming room here, which is all running off the hotel wireless.
Right.
And I was getting 256 ping. It was hot.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was. It was actually wasn't playing as bad as one might think.
Yeah.
It was okay, but if anybody showed up really really quick and started dealing me damage, that was the end of me.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden I'd end up with about a 1,000 ping, and that would be the end of that.
Yeah, I finally switched to NG.
Yeah.
I took our own advice and said, okay, NG time.
But I did have some fun, although there was a sniper, and I was trying to deal with the sniper on 2 Fort, with the 256 ping. That doesn't help very much. But I was laughing, though, because the sniper was up on the sniper deck, and I'm lobbing a bunch of grenades up there trying to keep him back, and he's staying back. So, but I'm like, I can't stay on this bridge forever. So I launched a bunch of stickies up there and went and ran away. Mm-hmm. And then, I'm coming back, and I look up, and he's standing right there with my stickies all around him. He didn't even go to the other side of the sniper deck. And
Nice.
So I just went, bink, and I blew him to a million pieces. It was great. I should do that more often.
Maybe he was all lagged out or something.
It could be. Could be. Maybe he had 500 ping. No, but I had the highest ping on the server right now.
But yeah, I guess we're going to try again. We're going to fix that problem or something and then get back on.
We're trying.
Okay.
We might not be able to. We might have to do some TF2 locally as opposed to connecting to the CP servers.
Yeah.
That's always more fun.
But we're going to miss out on CP After Dark.
Yeah.
Wah.
Well, we'll be filming our own little CP After Dark.
This is true. Yeah, rock banding
we
too.
can,
as well.
we can get on there.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
I
we can go
CP
pop
After
on. We just, aren't doing great.
Yeah.
So
Very cool. Sounds like a fun week.
And I've been playing. I've been using I've been using Icarium and Travian as my shouldn't I be working things. And so I've been doing that, and I played some TF2, and that's about it. That's all I played this week. And you, Brent?
And me, let's see. I played a little bit of TF2. I had a really fun map on Egypt where I went engineer. And, man, I forget who else was engineer with me, but it was a lot of fun holding people back on different points and stuff. And there's at one point where they had just blown up one of my guns, and he had a teleporter, like, right next to my gun. And so as I was coming back, I was like, blow your teleporter because it'll give me more ammo, to help me up. And he did.
That sounded
and it was just
dirty.
It was really good. It was dirty. There was ammo everywhere. And I was rubbing it on my nipples.
Yikers.
Which,
Too much
it's
information.
really fun in game. And besides that, I've really had to spend a lot more time with the fam this week since we'll be gone all weekend down here. So I didn't get much more gaming time than that, but a few TF2 sessions. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And, I forgot to say, this was a short week. We always record on Sundays. This is Friday.
Yes.
So that's freakish.
Yeah.
It is. This is the first time we've done it this early in a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I needed to say that, but I did.
Oh, thank you for bringing it up.
Yay.
Something down deep inside.
Well, that was our extended status.
There was one more thing I thought I'd mention is I don't know if you heard this story, but driving down here for the convention, we used Eric's GPS.
Oh,
And
wow.
we're driving into town, into Birmingham, and we take this road, and I miss a turn, and we got to go back around, and we're just following the GPS. All of a sudden, we're in the middle of a cemetery. Just like it's telling us to go in, and it had the roads perfect in the cemetery. Like you'd think it wouldn't have all the little, because it's such small roads in there.
It's like
but no, it has all the way around, and we're just like, well, let's follow it. Maybe it goes through or something.
Like take a left, take a right, and
No.
we're just in the middle of cemetery with no
middle.
lights, just the moon. It's very creepy.
And we get out, and the tombstone says Windsor Coperton. It was the craziest thing in the world.
It's like that Doctor Who episode.
Well, we realized that someone clicked on a point arbitrarily somewhere, and it just happened to, set a waypoint there. So it took us right to the top of a hill to the nicest looking gravestone in the whole lot.
Yeah,
It's like, all right, this is
looking
where
over
the
a fence
convention
at
is.
the airport, where the convention's right next door.
Because if we were gonna get out and start drinking and maybe do a podcast, that's the hill that we should have done it at.
Yeah.
Old Man Johnson or whatever. I don't know who it was. Windsor.
you kids get off of my lawn.
Off of my.
So then we got here
Dead bug.
and we had fun, and week over.
Yay!
Dun dun.
All right.
Okay, so moving on to On the Loudspeaker.
Cool. I like on the loudspeaker.
I don't even know what that
It's
was.
nice.
We have found out that the next weapon unlocks will be for...
The heavy.
Heavy, which I'm
Good
sure
guess, good
everybody's
guess.
found out because of the TF2 blog.
Yes.
This is updated again and again. Nice.
It's like they're doing it to spite us.
I think so, and I'm happy.
But
Should I not say that because now they'll stop?
There were some audio files that were found in French and stuff like that that were the heavy, talking about his new weapon and stuff like that. So this CP community already kind of found it through hacks, kind of, and then like the next day or something, Valve came out and was like, "Oh yeah, the Heavy's next." We're like, yeah, well, we already knew that.
I love our community.
I know. That's
It
cool.
wasn't. It actually wasn't CP people that found it. It was. Some,
was it
some-
not?
No, it was some French group.
Oh.
They found that there were things like my fists hit harder now.
Yeah.
And,
That didn't sound too French.
well, the Heavy doesn't sound very French.
What did the Russian sound like?
I don't know. Anyway, point being that.
Brass knuckles, maybe.
So then Valve had to come clean.
Yeah, they were caught.
I wonder if they would have fessed up earlier if somebody hadn't found it. I don't think they would
know.
have.
Yeah.
Well, they went on about a whole bunch of stuff about it, about basically telling the process of coming up with the unlocks and their ideas of why they pick certain things, and the whole thought process behind it, which I thought was really cool to see what they are trying to accomplish. It kind of makes some things make sense.
Yeah, it was pretty cool that they're actually sharing some of that information with us and not being so secretive. Although being secretive is also nice too, because it's like, oh my God, look at all this work that they've been working on for so long and we had no idea. So I don't know. There's two sides to it, but I like this one better because this one says that they actually listen to and care for the community that plays the game.
Do you want to talk about that real quick? What the blog said?
Do we want to go through that? Because this is news and discussion,
and
so
this
let's
is a TF2 podcast.
Discuss.
Yeah, we should talk about TF2.
It's either this or
that
Conan.
idea.
Well, I like Conan. Anyway, okay. First off, they listed the constraints for developing the Heavy's new weapons. The first one was it shouldn't have a cumulative effect when being healed by a medic as well. In other words, they're saying don't buff the Heavy medic combo. Let's that works fine. Let's go ahead and do things that don't improve that ability.
Right.
Next, they said it shouldn't significantly change the Heavy's role relative to the other classes. So it shouldn't turn him into a long range snipery type character or anything like that.
Right.
And the third was it shouldn't be it should be understandable for both the user and the player it's being used on.
That's a good one. And all this is, keep in mind, their goal is to make the Heavy more viable when he's not paired with the medic, which I think is really good. Give more time for other people to get used with the medic.
I think that's legitimate.
That's good stuff.
And then I guess they're giving bonus points. This is extra.
Yes. If you make this work, you get bonus points. First off, they're saying how much work is it? How much work do we have to put into this to make this happen? I mean, all this content is free for for the people who bought the PC version. So the second is, does it?
Well, there's something really important there you're missing though.
What?
They're talking about new models and effects, but the big one is sounds, because now they got to make it in Russian, and so that's a lot of extra work. So they got to think about that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I gotcha. The next one is, does it deepen the Heavy skill curve?
Is that possible?
Is it easy to learn and hard to master? Well, I think the Heavy is not, a total piece of cake. I mean, he's rather, two-dimensional in certain ways, but at the same time, a lot of his skill, and it's actually listed later on in this article, a lot of his skill is making a lot of decisions ahead of time and planning.
Right.
Well, I think you might be talking about mechanics versus like utility. Like the engineer has a higher learning curve than, say, the pyro, because the pyro is fire and forget,
true,
right,
true,
and
true.
spin around. But you have to learn all of the devices from, say, the spy and the NG and stuff like that. So,
Gotcha.
So I think there's two different things. But if you do add some sort of learning curve or something, then you're adding something that's brand new to the game that's not common to FPSs, which is like a sentry or a sapper,
Right.
So.
Next, it says, is it an interesting tool to choose relative to the base heavy weapons it's replacing? What scenarios can you envision in which each is useful? I think that's a given. I mean, you want the weapons to be compelling. You don't want to feel like you're getting something boring. Next, how often does the Heavy need to think about it? If it's something he uses every 5 minutes, or something he needs to constantly be thinking about, a greater impact on player decision making is generally a good thing.
Generally.
Yes. And last, how many other features of the game does it affect? In other words, the best ideas are economical with small sets of required actions. So, And then lastly, they talk about the skill set required to be a good heavy and how they don't really want to change it. To be a good heavy, it doesn't really rely on fine aim since the minigun has such a wide spread. Instead, it's relying on more tactical skills. And it lists off being in the right place before you start firing.
Right.
Next, it says good anticipation of enemy behavior. Next is the ability to estimate the amount of damage you're taking. And lastly, the ability to keep firing at a target while still keeping an eye out for other dangers. So that's what it lists as the heavy skills.
So heavies really need a widescreen monitor.
Yes. Yes.
High
Part of the skill set.
Yes. And maybe like some of those cool like reflecting sunglasses where you can look behind you.
Oh, the spy might get those, and they're unlocked.
I don't know. I think the heavy should. I think the heavy needs them more.
I think the sniper needs them.
Really?
I think the sniper might get something that...
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
They better not. They better not give the sniper any
Increasing
way to
his
defend
vision?
himself while he's standing there zoomed in.
I'm thinking some sort
If
of
anything, they should take things away
traps.
from the sniper.
Yes.
Some sort of snares that he can set.
Ah, yeah.
It wouldn't do much damage, but would maybe alert him.
I don't know. That
Anyway.
might not be bad.
That's interesting.
Anyway, we're talking about the heavy and bacon.
Bacon.
And bacon.
Bacon, bacon.
Okay, somebody else gets to talk about the update.
Update time.
Update. So there was an update, apparently, and they fixed the backburner's flame critical hit not being recalculated after collision.
Yes.
What did
they
this mean?
That means that when you... when the guy spins around and he's no longer... has his back to you, you're still hitting him with crits because the crit was turned on as a toggle switch.
Exactly.
That's bad.
And they added back some damage fall off to the Pyro's flamethrower, but not nearly as extreme as before the Pyro class pack. Have you noticed that?
I haven't noticed that. Well, you know what? I haven't played since July 1st, and that's when this update came out. But they removed that with the Pyro update. And I don't think we talked about that on the Pyro episode.
Yeah, we did. We talked about it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was asleep for that one, I think.
I was too. I don't remember that.
But they did add it back just slightly, and I like that. And people might say, well, it's not realistic, but I mean, it's more difficult to be closer to your enemy, so give them a reward.
Well, no, it's not. It's not illogical. If you were to shoot a flamethrower at somebody, you're the people who are right in front of you are going to get the brunt of that. That blue flame.
Yeah.
Farther back, you're going to take less damage.
Yeah, and you're like shooting like napalm or something, right? Like the more napalm on your skin, the better. Yeah. The worse you're going to burn, the more surface area. So, in real terms, it makes sense.
I think a good chunk of the reason why they were taking this out or why they were changing it back a little bit is because pyros had become sentry killers extraordinaire. They had a weapon that would kind of curve around corners a little bit that would even do its max damage at its max range.
Yeah.
So, a lot of it was because of sentries, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they also fixed a bug that caused Doom-Man to take small amount of extra damage from their own grenades and fly farther using them. Have you noticed this, Wes?
I have not. Of course, all I did was play today, and I was at 200 and something ping.
Okay, well, so there was also some spy fixes, getting stuck in players after moving his disguise, stabbing and be able to go invisible instantly, and disguise an enemy medic being able to spam voice commands.
That's pretty wicked.
Which, I didn't realize that was an issue, because I think I even mentioned on the spy thing that it was fun to turn medic and use your voice emotes to make people think you weren't a spy.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're saying you can't do that anymore, I guess.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good.
And then one of the next ones they fixed, they made it so that there was a buildable item placement bug, where if you tried to place a weapon in an invalid location, you couldn't rotate it after that. Which, for the most part, it's no big deal,
Yeah, that would probably never really happen unless you're messing around with a jetpack and putting it on a weird place.
But that seems really weird. Yeah. So, okay. Well, that's on the loudspeaker.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I was just going to say, I actually had that happen quite a bit, and it was super annoying, trying to spin teleporter exits or your sentry and not being able to just because you
actually had that happen to you?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh, like a
I play
lot.
so
Never
much
noticed
NG,
it.
and I haven't had that happen to me.
Yeah, I've never noticed that.
Well, when I play NG, I always try to I don't put my gun in like standard places. I go and try to put my gun in different places and
Okay,
corners,
weird.
seeing if I can get them on.
it's all right. You guys
You know,
don't have to be quiet.
buildings.
We won't pick up most of it. So don't worry about it.
Y'all can come in here.
Yeah, feel free to come in.
More the merrier.
They want to know what podcast this is.
This is the
Control Point. It's a Team Fortress 2 podcast. Oh,
we got
sorry.
pins if you want pins.
Yeah, you want a pen?
buttons?
Pin.
This
Pin.
convention is full of people who don't know what in the world we're
Yes,
talking
it's really
about.
funny. We've been talking to people all weekend long about Control Point, and people are like, Control Point, what's that? Or we've been talking to them about Team Fortress 2, and they don't know who.
No, we only got 3. Unfortunately, I wish we had more to give out. But yes, we do. We
Yes.
do.
We have a T-shirt. We have an insanely expensive T-shirt on Cafe Press.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, it's $25.
Yeah.
But it's on Cafe Press, and you can have one too.
Or 2 of them.
Where were we? We were talking about something.
We were talking about the engineers building stuff and blah, blah, blah. But I was just saying
Yeah.
that...
So you just put them in strange areas, or just
yeah, like
see
I
what you
tried to
try
put
to
them
get away
on
with.
crates and things like that,
That's cool.
and just weird stuff. And I didn't realize. I thought it was like lag or just something with my own computer. I didn't realize it was a bug, in the system. So this is kind of nice,
Okay.
finally knowing what it was
yeah.
and that it was fixed apparently.
Ta-da! Now you don't have to feel so bad about it.
Cool.
Just so bad about what?
About your stuff. About
Oh! I thought you were talking about having Wendy go get the beer earlier.
No.
See how guilty I feel still. Okay, so
Moving on to our map discussion. Did anybody do any new maps this week?
No, I haven't. No, not at all.
all I played that I remember really playing was Egypt 2 again.
Jetpacks or
Gone.
not jetpacks?
No jetpacks.
Oh, okay.
Aw, no jetpacks.
And you prefer no jetpacks, right?
I do. I think jetpacks have a time and place.
Yeah.
And especially when I play on 5 and I forget they're there. Like most people forget they're there, except for now I put messages in there that let them know they're there.
Yes.
And all of a sudden I see someone like flying, I'm like, damn. The jetpacks are active.
I just don't like playing with jetpacks all that much.
There's probably some guy in the community that's, jetpack CP, and he's like, why don't they like me?
Really? You really
Jetpack
think that?
CP. Nice. Or like last week's Player of the Week, that CP Conan or Conan CP, wasn't that his name?
I didn't see him.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
He was the Player of the Week. Anyway, what is the next exciting topic?
Next we move on to what do we move on to next? Listener contributions.
Yay.
Our thread of the week, Punjabi Fury posted a question because Spencer in last week's episode mentioned that he almost got kicked out of college because of his Diablo 2 activities. So our thread of the week is he asked Spencer what almost got him kicked out, and Spencer replied, and it's worth reading.
So that's the thread of the week?
Yes.
We should put the link in there.
A thread called
I'll
A
do it.
Question for Spencer.
Yes.
He has an amazing story to tell in his
Yes.
answer. So,
And I wonder how many people saw the secret in the image from last week's podcast.
saw the secret.
There
saw
was
the
a secret?
There was a little hidden nugget for people to find.
I like
missed
hidden
it.
nuggets. I love hidden nuggets.
What was in there? Is it the bagel?
Wow, yeah.
I didn't say it was hidden well.
The big ominous
Yeah.
bagel
Yeah, there's a bagel over that
in the
shack.
horizon.
Wow, that's very impressive. I like what you're doing here, and
Yeah.
I think you should keep it up.
Look at my form sig. It makes more sense. Anyway,
Does
moving
it?
on. Yes. It's one of those
All about
crazy
bagels?
things you have to hunt down to really
Slow.
figure out what's up with the bagel. All right.
Okay.
What were we getting on to?
We're getting
Listener contributions, listener contributions, listener contributions.
dun dun.
Thank you.
Okay. And we've already done Thread of the Week. Now, there is a contest here being held by John Maz. He's done this before, and this is really cool. Guess when the update for the Heavy will be available. If you are correct in your date, or at least you're the closest one, you will win cash. So go ahead and go to the forums. We will have a link on the show notes and try to guess when the update will be ready. And you will win money.
Updatey Jones?
Yes, Updatey Jones.
Okay.
But thank you, John Maz. This is a fun little contest. I think it would be fun even without the cash, but with the cash, it's extra delicious.
You know, we
Yes.
need to keep an eye on this, because if the same person keeps winning, we're going to have to start checking references and make sure they don't work for Steam.
No, but if the same person keeps winning, that's good for us. Because the last
that's
jackpot,
true.
the last prize money came and paid for CP servers.
That's right.
true.
Yeah, it was donated right back
Yeah.
to CP.
And we
so.
just got another donation for the servers, too, and my Google thing crashed, so I can't tell you who it was. But we'll tell you
We'll be
next
more
week.
prepared next week. Yes.
Wait. I actually know who it was.
It's in the email.
You do.
Yes, there was an email. It was... Open that one. Johnny Napalm donated
Johnny
to the
Napalm.
servers.
Thank you, Johnny.
That crazy Johnny
Because
Napalm.
Johnny Napalm, he cares about his community.
Yay.
Are you saying that no one else does?
Well, I've never donated to the servers, so I guess that means I don't care.
You've donated sweat and time.
I
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
I have.
yeah.
Tears.
That's true.
A little bit
And
of
bad
semen.
jokes and
Yes.
stuff like that.
And the longevity of my marriage. Anyway, where were we? We were talking
Listener
about something.
contributions.
Yeah.
Listener contributions.
We're
Listen-
moving on. We're moving on.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
done with the
moving
song
on,
and
moving
everything.
on.
We're done
Okay.
with the whole segment, in
Yes.
fact. So,
As a matter of fact, we're on surveillance.
surveillance. Yeah.
And we got linked to some Left 4 Dead stuff that got posted on Rock Paper Shotgun. Left 4 Dead is the upcoming Half-Life mod. It's a survival horror genre thing where there's 4 characters and you get to play one of them and you've got to live. So
To me, it kind of looks like a multiplayer Resident Evil, right?
That's
like
exactly
co-op.
what it's like.
Okay, so that's cool if you're into that sort of thing. It does look excellent. I'm going to check it out for sure.
Okay, cool. Moving on to our shout-outs, our player of the week. I think this is a given.
Oh, it is.
Taryn?
Johnny Napalm.
Johnny Napalm.
For donating to the servers.
Johnny Napalm.
Yeah, that's an easy way to become player of the week.
Yeah.
You're always player of the week if you give us money.
Even if we don't make you player of the week,
Yes.
you should know deep down
Yes.
inside you are
Yes.
to us.
Yeah.
Player
Each
of the
one
Exactly.
of you are players of the week. Alright.
Are we done with this segment? No, we're going to continue this later, right? So we don't need to do all our pimpage and stuff, right?
The shout-outs?
I think everybody has heard our pimpage at least once in their lifetime.
Yes.
And we're going to do y'all a favor. Actually, I think this is a favor donated from Johnny Napalm. For that $20, y'all aren't going to have to hear the spam at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
that's true.
that would be, good to not hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
plus
no one
we-
wants to hear about Dig anymore. And they definitely don't want to have to hear us.
Hear about Twitter or anything.
No, we're done. We're done.
Sorry.
Okay, well, we're gonna shut it down for a little while, and we will be back on later in this evening.
Yeah.
Yes.
There will be maybe a part 2 of this.
And
Okay, let
if
me
you're old
rephrase that.
enough,
There-
or you can go out and get some alcohol now so you can drink with us.
Yeah, so stay tuned for part B, whatever we call it.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
until then.
Good night.
You are now at the end of another episode of Control Point,
Victory.
Every one of you deserves a medal!
a podcast brought to you by the Dead Workers Party. See the show notes and leave comments for this episode at controlpoint.deadworkers.com or leave us a voicemail at area code 256-513-4772.
Auf Wiedersehen!
We never made it back to record part B of this episode. Instead, enjoy this short clip from a previous CP After Dark game. And we'll see you next week with a longer episode.
Nice. Hey, where's that record button? This is what we should be podcasting.
Rasputin took a long time to join.
It'd be a whole new podcast. It'd be like drunk chatter.
My humiliation and sense of failure is palpable on the existing podcast. Thank you.
Then 16 people going eater.
It just sounds wrong when you say it really fast, you know?
Sounds like Quagmire.
That's a different kind of sound, Stubborn.
Mission begins in
Hey there.
Longer line sound.
It sounds. It's the sound that a hotel makes through the wall.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
Well, it's not me. Me and my 9 frames per second doing just fine. Thank you very much.
You and who doing doggy style for just
about as fast as we can.
What?
Yes, that's too much.